Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. Whew. So I just climbed up this big old hill. I'm going right back down. But I wanted to come through to spend some time, to spread some love, to share some good energy with you guys in these right now moments. I wanted to take a moment and, of course, remember this day, September 11, 9/11, right? Where were you on this day when the event happened? I was telling a friend how each year I'm in the psych hospitals, and it's amazing how many lives we're saving that were impacted from 9/11. All of our lives were impacted. Take a look at our president. Those were his Twin Towers. He was not too far from where it occurred, and he can see his buildings being shot down via aircraft. Imagine something that you built getting destroyed by people who never have had the capacity to build in such iconic, visionary energy. 9/11 destroyed so many lives, not only the victims and the victors, but those who were in observance of it. I'm so grateful to be still here on this earth during these right now times as we truly witness our President Donald Trump build a new America utilizing the policies and procedures of our founding fathers the correct way, not when we want to utilize them to punish people, but when we need to tear down those systems that they built that benefited them when they needed to benefit them. Imagine building so many beautiful businesses and people who hate us in spite of, because we can build them, destroy them, and mock us in our face and say, "Where is your God now? You're so amazing. You created so much stuff. Where's your God now? Why your God didn't destroy or stop us from destroying the very thing that you built?" People are so blessed and hateful. They get blessed off of us building, off of destroying our hard-earned work. That's just how society is, Know who you are in this world. Are you a planner or a builder? Or a spectator? Are you a pawn in this game of life, So I'm enjoying watching in amazement while learning to take time out from my doctoral program, time I would have never took if we didn't have these type of people in my family, in my friendship circle, in my work circle, right? Destroying everything that God gave us to build as visionaries Had they not destroyed something that I was building that God gave me the blueprint to build, I would have never been able to take this time out to truly recognize human behavior outside of those books, outside of the psychiatric hospitals. Hello, Kenjamin. Hello, Alex. Yes, so I was coming on to share some time, to share some love, to share some good energy with you guys while I'm doing my walking, my morning walk. And it's just so amazing that we're observing 9/11, right? I'm bringing you back to the beginning of this video. As it is always, same God, different day, right? Hello. Fine, how are you? I'm out doing my Jesus walk. For those who know, 6-year Master of Science, right? Of those 6 years, I've been of 3.5 in the doctoral program, Latin honors. It's so amazing to be in the Latin honor society, to be a part of upper echelon, not of wealth, but of academic excellence. We don't want to differentiate ourselves because it is you that we get to truly embrace and share our essence with. It's always a blessing to be in my own presence, yet alone the presence of those who appreciate the knowledge and the wisdom that I have been taught to bestow upon you guys. So I started with an integration philosophy, with an integration of psychology and technology. But I was like, oh, that is way too easy. Let me get into the cognitive sciences because I love the mind. I love how we can program the mind because I've been showing people how to program their minds since November of 2018 when I was in my master program and they was teaching us how to, truly embrace God gifts that are being bestowed upon us. And we had to do a research study. We had to create our own research study at a master level, and we had to implement it, right? And that's when I first started actually making money on social media, November 2018, because I was sharing the knowledge and the wisdom that was being bestowed upon me to be a blessing to you guys, A lot of people want entertainment. They want distraction, right? How is that going to help us in our day-to-day life? Well, that's the reason why I do it, because you ask those questions. It's always intriguing to see how people respond to the data collection that we retrieve and we implement in our research. And we're like, okay, how does human in a certain target population respond to our knowledge and wisdom that we collected from their target population? Now, I've been working in the psychiatric hospitals in an outpatient program since 2010. And it's always amazing how it is true that a prophet is never welcome in their own homeland. Now, when we're on these social media platforms, instead of seeing those who are gang stalking us and terrorists threatening us in the societies to which we live in, I've been able to teach what goes on even with the police gang stalking, even with university officials gang stalking, even when neighbors are gang stalking. They will set up a whole play to see how you respond to it. And it's like, no, I'm observing you do what it is that I have already taught. How hard is it to know and understand that we've been there and done that, but I'm grateful to be able to utilize that information within this target population. Now the thing is, get yourself out of your old family's home, get yourself out of your old friend's home, get yourself out of your old co-worker's home, because if what you do don't benefit them, they don't care what it is that you do. They'll destroy anything that you got going on if it doesn't benefit them. And then they'll sit there and flip it around on you and say, well, my life isn't about to be destroyed because of you. Just because what you do in life does not benefit them. So I teach you guys about the different gaslighting tactics, using political humor, dark academia, dark psychology. And a lot of people get pissed off, but look at how our society is ran off of psychology. We know when the fearmongers come in to rush money, to rush revenue into each society during each quarter. I have been a certified revenue cycle leader, certified through the federal government. And it's so amazing when it's time for them to flip the switch or do their bait and switch methods to bring you into systems that we need you guys to be in, so it benefits who? Those who benefit from the system. Now, you guys have to know and understand that our criminals, we benefit more from those criminals than we do from regular Americans. Regular Americans are those with education. Those with little to none get caught up in criminal activity, and those higher up in the hierarchy, let me tell you, we get hit from so many levels because the people that are supposed to be down doing the groundwork aren't doing the necessary work that we trained them, or whoever their supervisor trained them to do. Then we get fucking targeted because we're the one with the high profile salaries. They will use anybody. And then I keep hearing this whole thing about birth control. Well, I have always said, who are you guys to control my birth, my body? any person that is talking about birth control is in poverty mindset. We have already took out your abortion clinics. Close your fucking legs. You don't need birth control. Get out of animalistic behavior. If you're having sex, what? That means you are in a position to what? Have a baby. If you don't want to have one, don't be out here having sex. How hard is it? For the rape victims, we know, we understand. Those are situations we can't prevent. But you can prevent unwanted pregnancy by keeping your freaking legs closed. If you don't want to have a baby, you should not be having sex. Therefore, you don't need birth control. I said what I said. Only people who can't afford children are upset. And they be the main ones talking about birth control, receiving Medicaid benefits or low insurance provider benefits through their low-level economic jobs. Who the F are y'all to tell us we need to be on birth control? No. We have been there and done that. Y'all need to get educated. Don't get upset that we say that y'all need to get educated. However you educate yourself, it's too much knowledge out here. Ignorance is not bliss. The worst tongue to ever hear is from family who always got something to say, but they have no education. That's nothing but the devil's tongue. Just because they know you longer or you came from their body, they think they know you better. Well, when you surpass the education of your parents don't know you better. Did you go in that classroom with me to get a freaking degree? Did you go through life experiences with me while I were ascertaining that degree? You don't know me, right? So if you come from parents that are little to not educated, celebrate them from afar before they screw up and destroy everything that you're trying to build in this new society. Because those old ways don't open new doors. We're coming out of a season where people only used our laws to control who they needed to control. Our policies and procedures to control whoever they wanted control over. If we enjoy you, we don't need to use laws, policies, and procedures on you. We'll just do whatever. You know, we're leaving a season of word of mouth societies and economies. Is who can get the job done and done right the first time. Who can shift the atmosphere in a business organization. Who can stare at fear in the face and say, shut the fuck up and get the job done? Who would have emotional intelligence to know and understand that the lesser man thrives off of emotion because they can't channel their emotions at a higher level because they're not programmed to do so. So let's bring in those who are programmed to do so, not who is well known in town. No, who is a higher level programmer to rule out bias. People thrive off of emotions. You're easily controlled. That's all, you guys. Much love.